Look.
To be fair, there ain't going to be much editing in this, is there? Hello there,
No.
mate.
He wants his baby.
This is how the pros do it, mate. Okay, welcome to the Dance Party 247 podcast. You got myself, DJ Envy. We have DJ T next to me. DJ Wongy's not here today. He drove into a wall on his bicycle. Sorry, but I've been waiting to say that all day.
But just to reassure everybody, the wall is fine.
Yeah, the wall is fine. But he is being sued for criminal damage and charges and repair of the wall.
And apparently
So if there's any good lawyers out there, we could really do with one.
There was one of these involved. The elusive.
Yeah, so Mr. Wongy was on the phone to us, to myself and DJ T. He was having a conversation about something. I can't remember what it was, and apparently his headset went off, so he couldn't hear us. So he looked down, and then we heard all sort of obscenities coming from his mic on his phone. A little bit of swearing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of the general stuff. And apparently a womble run out in front of him, and well, he didn't want to kill the womble, did he? So he crashed into the wall, and he damaged his shoulder. He's chipped his bone on his shoulder, and he has got extensive soft tissue damage.
Whiplash.
So DJ Wongy is out of action for a good few weeks, I would have thought, due to obviously soft tissue damage and stuff. So you just have myself and DJ T today.
However, he is in DJ hell because he has got a brand new Prime 4 that Envy brought around, and he's managed in the space of a week to pick it off the floor and to put it on a stand, and he can't use it.
But I tell you what I did do. I went round to see Mr. Wongy yesterday. I took him some bits and pieces because he can't do nothing. And he come up, he answered the door. As I opened the door, he's laying on the stairs like that. Because he can't stand up because the pressure on his shoulder and everything. He was just laying on the stairs. Myself and Lady K had got up there to see him, and he's just laying there like that. It's just myself and DJ T today. We're going to be talking about software and streaming platforms. Some of the stuff that we use personally. We're not saying this is the best stuff. We're not sponsored by these guys. This is our opinion on the software that we use to run our station and upload MP3 to the internet in order for other DJs to download and other bits and pieces. You'll get the general drift as we go through each individual piece of software.
So the software, I suppose we did it in kind of an order of how you use it to stream to start off with. Then I, over the years, have used Virtual DJ. Envy has sort of tried to stay away from that. Although your current decks allow you to do MIDI, so it's something you may well look into in terms of Serato or Tractor or something along those lines.
I'm going to sound like a bit of a muppet now. I did download Serato. I did download Virtual DJ, and my computer said, no, we don't like that. We're not fast enough, powerful enough to run it. So I actually have to get a new computer. That is one of the downsides about the new technology. If you've got an older computer, it doesn't like it. It's as simple as that. It just won't run the file. You can download it, but it won't run because the processor's not quick enough to basically process all the information required to make it run properly.
Yeah. So Virtual DJ has been very useful to me, especially in a mobile setup as well, because I've run video as well, and you can actually have a camera, so you can put up on the big screen. You can, with a webcam, you can actually see yourself on the screen from the audience. So there's things like that.
I didn't know that, because obviously this is all. Excuse me. I know about it. Don't get me wrong, but I've never used any type of DJ software. Never. The furthest I've ever gone is recording software, because I'm very old-fashioned. I'm an old man now. I like my vinyl. When I had to go over from vinyl to CDs, I didn't like it then either. And now it's like, well, there's another step now, isn't there? Because obviously I was out of the game for what, 12 years? 12 years. Yeah. And in order to get back into it, things have changed massively. You still have your vinyl, you still have your CDs, but now there's things like controllers, and they will only work
with software.
Either internal software in the controller itself as a standalone, or Serato, Record Box, Virtual DJ, and there's loads of others out there. But I think the most common one is probably Virtual DJ.
Yeah, because I guess it's, I suppose amongst DJs, it's been looked as perhaps the most non-professional one over the years, because obviously you've got ones very specifically for DJing. Serato is very much for turntablists as well as club DJs. Very turntablists would use Serato over a DJ, virtual DJ setup. I suppose virtual DJ is probably the most used amongst anyone who class themselves as a DJ. You've got mobiles
Not
as well.
necessarily the best, though, is it?
Again, personal opinion. If it does the job for you, I'll put it this way.
I was talking more on a wider spectrum. So just because it's the most commonly used, it doesn't necessarily make the best software. Because if you look at,
it depends on the update. Have you got an update? For example, at the moment, Virtual DJ and DJ Pro, which is another piece of software, they both have almost like stem filters where you can just have the vocals, you can have the mid, or you can have the bass. Yeah. And those are the only two programs currently out there without actually doing it properly with stems. You can just go and do it like a filter, like you would do top, middle, or bottom, your bass, middle, or treble. And you can filter those out as well as actually have your EQs as well. So just because you've got a reputation of being sort of more generic, they are still innovative. And if you want to have that kind of piece of technology now, then those are the two software that currently have that. So you can remix on the fly. So I find them stable. I haven't done video as well in a live setting. For the last 10 years, my CD decks have basically just had one CD in them, which is the time code. So otherwise I'd have to obviously reinvest elsewhere to a different setup. Eventually it did, yes. Eventually it did. Yeah. But it saved me for a long time, especially as I wasn't having to take my actual kit out. I was going to go out, either have equipment there for me, or take the laptop with me. I didn't actually need to take my actual kit. So until that came along, then I wouldn't need to make the investment. So it helped me out. So I've got like 10 years, well, probably about 12 years worth of DJing on Virtual DJ. But there's other software out there as well. So you got your Virtual DJ, which obviously will play the music for you. Then we actually use StreamYard. So you need to have some software that will actually put your stream, your internet connection onto the internet to play on. We use Twitch, for example, or Facebook, or Instagram, or whatever you wish to play your
just add something to that. So back in the day, probably 12, 15 years ago, the only real software that was available for internet radio was a program called Winamp. That was the market leading in
Shoutcast.
Shoutcast. Yeah, but you use Winamp to go through Shoutcast, don't you? So it was the Winamp was the processing software. Shoutcast was the server.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So from then, I mean, you could stream video through Winamp because we used to, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was good back then, but if you compare that to StreamYard now, I mean, StreamYard's way above the quality of what Winamp ever was, simply purely because technology's moved on.
Yeah, Shoutcast is just an audio. I mean, there's still a lot of internet radio out there doing Shoutcast or what's the other one? Shoutcast and Icecast. That's right. Yeah, they're pretty very similar.
But it's another bit of software you can use to go through Icecast or Stream or Shoutcast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little. That now is just almost a little pop up. I'm just going to sneeze. My hay fever. Excuse me. It's a little pop up. Really, that's all it is.
Hay fever.
And it's really low CPU usage on your computer. to stream your audio. Audio is great, but we live in 2020 now. As good or a bad year this is turning out to be for the rest of the world.
Oh, it's great. It's in a better year in time, mate.
The video is people want to see as well as hear.
Yeah,
So that's why we use StreamYard. I also personally use OBS. OBS. The difference between the two primarily is StreamYard is online. So as long as you've got a good internet connection and video source, then StreamYard will do the processing for you to whichever platform you're going to go to. So it's an intermediary. It basically encodes and then redistributes your video and audio.
But the problem with that, though, there is a bigger difference to OBS and StreamYard as well. Again, if you have an older computer like myself, it won't run it because the CPU, the power of the computer is just not compatible with the new version of OBS at all, is it? It just will not work. OBS doesn't like, again, older computers. So unless you've got a i3 or above, if you've got a dual core, which is not an i3, it just will not. It won't run it. You'll struggle.
It is quite. It does a whole lot for you, but it is very power hungry. The StreamYard does all that for you, so long as you've got a secure internet connection. For example, we're doing it on StreamYard now, this podcast, and we're doing it via our mobile phones. So StreamYard itself is doing all the processing, it's recording it. If it was live, it would basically take that, encode it, and then put it out to whichever destination we'd log into. And it can do up to 8 continuously at any one time. So if you were doing Facebook, Instagram, as long as you've got the stream codes to go onto those.
Is that 8 with the pro level or the level? Because we have professional level, don't we?
Yeah,
I think we do. So and we can do up to 6.
We can do.
Or we up to 8, and then the other one's 15 or something. Isn't it?
No, we do 3. I got.
We do 3. Get your notes out, mate. Come
on. Yeah, I didn't make a note of that. I'm pretty sure we do 3. It's definitely 8 to. It's 3. We do 3, and it's 8 to on the next level up, which is the maximum level they do. They do. Our stream is 720p, and they've just updated the quality of that. If you want to go full HD, then you need to go to the pro level. They do have a basic level as well for 20 hours, which for most people, which is good enough.
Which is where we started, wasn't it? If you remember rightly, we started with the free version, which is 20 hours a month. Yep. Now, we didn't quite think this through because when we first started, we was running recorded shows, and that was being done via me. And it worked out. We had to upgrade because I'd streamed for what? One day?
19 hours and 30 minutes before we realised.
About 4 hours left for the rest of the month. So bear in mind, even though you do get 20 hours sounds like a lot. If you're going to be streaming a lot, don't bother with the free version. Literally just go straight for the $25 a month, because you get unlimited. And
you get the watermark taken off as well, and then you get you get banners. You can put banners and overlays. Yeah.
And on a whole, I think it was probably the best thing we've done on it was to upgrade, because now we can just stream whenever we like. We've got no restrictions at all.
No, and you can stream through your phone. You can stream through a PC setup, which most DJs do. So there's various options.
That's only new, isn't it? Because they didn't have that. 2 months ago?
You couldn't stream directly from the phone. You could be invited as a guest. You could come in as a guest, but you couldn't do the controlling stuff in the background, which we're physically doing that now as we speak on this podcast. Yeah.
But now they've got an app. Well, it's not an app, is it? It's more of a mobile version, and you literally just log in like you would on your PC, and then you can just stream directly from your phone, and that does make a big difference. Okay, so we've covered StreamYard. What do you want to move on to next? Yeah,
from StreamYard, we now you can go in any direction you're wishing to do so. You can stream onto Facebook. If you're doing like a podcast, what we're doing now, that would be fine. There's original material, or you got Instagram, or YouTube. We go onto Twitch because Twitch doesn't interrupt live feeds. So that's what we go to. So you got all those different other platforms to actually use. So we use Twitch. And then to take it a step further, not to confuse anyone, the Twitch streams, if you go on the Twitch, you'll see us play, obviously the DJs that we have on with us, then that gets embedded. We take that code and embed it onto a website. So
Which is
again, you can watch us on the website. So there is a lot of technology involved to actually just listen to some DJs playing some music. And then we've got podcasts as well. So literally, as you'll be watching this now, we'll record this on our stream on StreamYard. Then we've uploaded it to YouTube, and then you're watching it on YouTube. So again, another format to which obviously there's a bit of technology and a learning curve. And if all you ever want to do is just play some music and entertain some people, then you either need to learn these things, or in a lot of cases, that's why DJs come to us and want to go through us, is because we will do that for them and then just show them how to do it or give them the codes, and they don't have to then upload podcasts or upload streams because the software will do it for them with the codes, or we will do the difference. They just go up and they do the minimum, play their set, and off they go.
Yeah. So basically, we do all the hard work. We do all the stuff in the background. We make sure everything's running properly. All they do, like T said, is just rock up, do their 2-hour set, 3-hour set, whatever the case is, and then off they go till next week. Simple as that.
And if you then were want to listen back, then Twitch does have recorded shows, but also we have a Mixcloud account. So you can go to Mixcloud, and then the audios from either a mix that a DJ's done or part of a show, or even podcasts are starting to go up on there. They go up onto Mixcloud, so it's another piece of software, as in the internet, and you go up onto Mixcloud, whereby obviously then you can listen to some there's other good music out there other than our own, but obviously you can check out Dance Party 24/7.
We are legends
on Mixcloud, and Mixcloud have actually even started doing streaming themselves.
They have, but there is a problem with that, isn't there?
From our point of view, if we're an individual, then I think it's absolutely rocking. But because we've got so many people, to keep it simple, we want one stream code, and we'd love to have that player embedded. Then that's where we actually have the difficulty, because then those stream codes change every time you go to stream on Mixcloud. So the DJ, if you're an individual, not a problem. You can go out and you can be prepared to go through that process. But to have a different code every time, we just try to keep things simple for the DJs that we work with.
DJs are simple people.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, DJs are simple people.
They like things simple. They're not simple people.
I don't mean that in simple. I mean as in the way that they just want to turn up, do their stuff, and go. They don't want to be putting codes in. They don't want to be having to make sure everything's working. They don't want to be doing that. They just want to rock up, connect, do their set, and go. That's what I mean by simple.
So moving music around between DJs or podcasts. We had somebody that one of the DJs was uploading the podcast for us. We actually use pCloud. Now there's loads of them out there. There's Dropbox, which is probably the most famous one, which is coined the phrase to use. That's like saying Hoover and vacuum cleaner, isn't it? You say a Dropbox, but it's the branded name that you need.
The thing with Dropbox, you're very limited, aren't you? You were very limited. What, 5 gigs?
3.
3
gigs. 2 gigabytes. 2 gigabytes for free.
And with pCloud, what did we get just to start?
You get 5 to start off with,
5
and then
to start with it. And this is completely free, guys. We don't pay a penny for this.
No, we can get up to 10 if you refer friends, and if you do a couple of the things that they ask you to do, like go on social media and obviously recommend them, that kind of thing. So that does change from time to time what they ask you to do. But for another gigabyte, what I did is you set up the Dance Party account. So I invited myself and on 2 emails, and I accepted. Then that's 2 extra gigabytes that we get collectively. So I think we're now up to about 7 gigabytes of storage, and you get up to 10 gigabytes. You can work your way through up to 10 gigabytes of free storage.
7 gigabytes of music is, what's that? That's got to be what,
That's thousands of
3,000
tunes.
tracks,
Yeah, it's quite a few.
roughly
But
3,000 tracks.
it depends what you're using it for. So if we're using video, then a typical video in its edited form from a podcast is about 5 or 6 gigabytes before it's even edited, and then that goes up to 20 plus by the time it's been edited and colored and all that kind of stuff. So it does take quite a bit of free, but you can pay for more. And I believe I've got it written down here because I'm not, my memory's not that good. I'm getting old now. Okay, I am old. £47.88 for a year for 500 gigabytes. So you're going to transfer quite a bit of files for a whole year. You can buy it annually or buy it outright, but I don't know. DJs are not always ones with flush amounts. I didn't look at that, but 500 gigabytes is £47.88 and £95.88 for 2 terabytes. They're dollars, but no, they're pounds. They're pounds.
I mean, if you look at 100 quid for 2 terabytes, I mean that's a huge amount.
That's if you just wanted to back up and as a backup. We know a DJ at the end of lockdown had a gig in a bar. It was just as background music, as far as we know, all socially distanced, except when a female decided to pour alcohol all over his laptop. The laptop.
I will say we're not discriminating against females here,
no,
but if you're a DJ, being a male or woman, and I've got to be politically correct, moron spills a drink over your equipment, you are not going to be too pleased, because then that database of music would have cost a lot of money and a lot of time. Pete Cloud, we would, as a station, I would like to say, recommend Pete Cloud, because it is superb. Don't cost a penny for up to 10 gigs, and if you're an individual, 10 gigs is massive. You guys, if you guys had 10 gigs of free storage, why would you pay for it if you're an individual?
DJ T here. Before we got interrupted by my son, Envy, and myself, we're about to say all links are in description for the digital services and software that we were talking about today on the podcast. And remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.